No matter how you got here, whether it was that noti or whether it was the thing on the side, the little recommended, or even maybe the main page, no matter what brought you here today, let me ask you something. You as a person, not a viewer, you as an individual, have you felt stuck in your head? And I don't mean in general, I think all of us have. Have you been stuck in your head recently? Because I feel like it just gets harder over time, man. You gotta take these small steps. You know, you're not the way that you think and you realize it coherently. But of course, it's always easier to say what's right than do what's right. We live in a world that is right now plagued with social media. It's as addicting as it's ever been. AI. I'm pretty sure the video we're about to get into is more or less a personal experience kind of thing, a cut combo or some gameplay. And if you guys like non-AI generated content, go ahead and drop a like.
Cracker with motherfucking crack. I'm looking for a thick booty. Bring a blunt. I love all you stars.
I only drink the
So it all starts back in the pandemic. And I know the pandemic is old news, dude. Okay, I'm not a news reporter. I know it's old news. I'm just saying that I think during that time where like we couldn't leave our houses or like people just couldn't do anything, that it created a lot of issues for different people, especially when we talk about like rumination. Like I wonder if there's been a study on like the long lasting impacts of people's mental health through or after the pandemic. And again, considering that happened, you know, in 2020 and we're now in 2026, again, like 6 years ago. Now, what I'm getting at is this was one of my personal, like, lowest moments, dude. Like, genuinely, I was struggling so hard. I started experimenting with psychedelics at some point just because it really felt like, dude, I was that low. Like, I needed something else. Like, I needed to try something else, do something else, be someone else. Dude, I hated myself. I literally looked at the mirror, and I'm only telling you guys this because I was told by somebody, and I've held on to this. That's why I say I'm not telling you just what's right, but I've held on to this saying because it helped me. And it was something that says, the saying goes, you are not your thought. And to some of us, this may seem obvious, but to those of us who ruminate, it's often that we associate the temporary feeling we were going through with who we are. The way I'm feeling is who I am. I'm sad, I'm a sad person. I'm happy, I'm a happy person. I am the way that I think. Now, people will tell you all the time. People will literally tell you who they are. They'll literally be like, I am blank. Like, I am this, I am that. And then there's the people who don't need to say it. Because it's not about what they tell you. It's about who they are. They don't need to tell you who they are because it's off the record. It's what they do. And what I'm getting at is, I really wish back in the pandemic and just in general, I wish that I would have realized that yes, you're not what you think about, but you are what you do. Again, you are not what you think about. Your thoughts are not your identity, but you are what you do. On the same note of recording this video, I've sat around for probably 2-3 years thinking of all the videos I could make. My big return to YouTube. Mind you, I have like 1,000 subscribers, but I've sat and thought about it for years, coming back and doing that. And my ego told me, you are someone who makes content, but my actions differ. Probably understand most of what I'm saying, but why, again, does it even matter to begin with? Why am I making this video? Why does this even matter to you? As that's because the ego is what tells you who you are. Your brain every day that's telling you this is you. You are a compassionate individual. You are blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. You are blank. This is your ego. This is your idea of you. How would you describe yourself to others is a better question. And I became Kevin Gates. I'm a prisoner of my own mind. And y'all, what I mean by that is, dude, sometimes I literally think about all the shit I'm not doing while I'm actively not doing it. And I spend more time ruminating and thinking about what I'm not doing than doing it. And you guys got to realize, like, if you're aware of it, dude, it's a painful level of awareness. And I'm sure if you're still here, you relate. Like, I'm sure if you're watching to this point, you probably relate with that. I can't be the only one, dude. But that's pretty much the trap. You sit and you tell yourself who you are, and you don't do anything about it. You ruminate more. You can't find the motivation to get up and do things. But then it gets worse because you have responsibilities, you have all these other factors, all these other things in life that you need to maintain and be responsible of. But in the back of your head, you have this dream. But you don't have your bills. So you put your ambitions on the back burner so you can work for a company to pay those bills. And the dream doesn't really go away. I mean, you still have it. You think about it all the time. You ruminate about it. It never goes away, and you still talk about it. It's what you want to do. And you're aware that you don't care about your job or anything you're doing, any company you could work for. You don't give a flying fuck about any of that. Because it's not you. You've always been bigger than your job. But you can't escape your mind. You are not your thoughts. but you are what you do. And while you are not your thoughts create your reality. We live in a world that is heavily rooted in this idea of being rational, thinking rational. Think like computers, doctors, like civilization in general. Think about how much logic is embedded into our society. Rationality isn't inherently bad, but we shouldn't automatically assume that it's this limitless thing where any amount of rationality is going to fix your problems. And this is a big reason nowadays that we get stuck. The limit of being rational is that the world is dynamic. It's ever changing. Things change. Things leave your control, be it money, finances, whatever you're going through. The world is dynamic. It gets better, it gets worse. But being rational, it's a linear idea. It's a black and white idea that we feel things are as they are. So you get paralyzed because your linear brain is in a dynamic world with ever-changing things, ever-changing responsibilities, ever-changing dynamics, and it feels suffocating, crippling, and it just feels sometimes like you're in this hamster wheel of paying bills, living check to check. And someone could tell you, oh, just get a better job, go get a degree, go throw yourself in debt. If you have something you're passionate about, it makes complete sense. Go to school. And life just becomes so busy that it leaves hardly any time for the life that you actually wanted. So in Greek mythology, there's this story of this guy, Sisyphus, and he pretty much is pushing up a boulder up a hill. He gets to the top of the hill, the boulder rolls back down, he goes to the bottom of the hill, picks it up again, and it's just this cycle. It's never ending. And in a lot of ways, life feels like that a lot of times, but you can only free yourself from the illusion when you realize that the hill is not your destination and that boulder isn't your struggle. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, that's sauce. I hope that is valuable enough to help somebody, bro. I hope if you made it this far into the video that it helps you. And dude, I don't have everything figured out myself, okay? I really don't, bro. It's a struggle every day. But if you can practice a certain level of awareness, you can finally break through those barriers. It may not be after you watch this video. It may not be for a while. But I think the biggest lie is to deceive yourself, to say that you're meant for more, to say that you have these dreams, to tell everyone your ambitions. Maybe it's to lose weight, whatever your goal is. The biggest form of self-deception is to say that I'm meant for more but live the same, because how are you meant for more outside of your ego if your actions don't align with what you actually say? And again, you're not what you think about, you are what you do. You aren't your struggle, and you aren't what you tell yourself. You're what you actually do on a daily, bro. So hey, with that, thank you if you made it this far. If you did, seriously drop a like. Help me make some of my dreams come true, bro. Help your boy. I'll record this for you. Enough begging for likes.
I love
Peace.
all you thought. Remember this. Big booty bitches, I love you.